Get ready to ramble.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to Ramblings of a Middle-Aged Card Collector, where we explore stories, journeys. 28, Ink, Grit, and Storytelling, the art of Ty Romsa. Tonight, we step into a world where ink meets intensity, every line carries weight, and the character feels like they've lived a life before they even hit the page. Because comic art isn't just about what you see, it's about what you feel. And my guest tonight understands that better than most. From gritty storytelling to emotionally charged compositions, his work doesn't just sit on a page, it pulls you in. So, without further rambling from me, please welcome artist, storyteller, and one of the voices shaping modern comic art, Ty Romsa. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me, man. Good to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate your time. It's great to see you. We've met on, what was it, Justin's podcast back in the day? What was it, 2023 Flair we were all opening?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun to rip all together.
Oh, that was an amazing time.
Yes. Those were the golden days, brother.
Absolutely.
We could all just get a box, rip together with the artists, have them come on, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great time.
Absolutely. We got some guests in the chat. Herman Style, what's going on? Jimmy, how are you? We've got Say, how are you? Thank you for hanging out with us as well. So tonight's going to be fun. I was introduced to your work in Flair 2023. And then followed your work in Platinum was awesome. So I'm curious to where you're at right now. Are you going to be doing, I don't know if you could say anything, but Topps work? Are you still doing work for Upperdeck with DC? Are you moving more into like independent commissions, freelance? What's going on with your current state?
Well, I mean, I can't talk about some of the projects that haven't been released, obviously, but
Okay.
I do have a continuing relationship with Topps.
Nice.
So I'd say, look out for stuff in the future for sure.
Love it.
Yeah. So aside from that, I'm also working on a bunch of freelance projects at the moment, which I also can't talk about. Some things that are under contract. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Nice. I love to hear that. As long as you guys are staying busy, I'm excited to see what's coming with Topps. Just that little tidbit makes me happy to hear that. Topps has some artists going out there. They're doing some work for original art, and artists at your scale that's great. So I'm excited to see what happens. I'm personally not ripping anything from Topps because I can't get into breaks and I never win the EQL, but we'll see. I'm still excited to see artists put their work out and it gets out there, and the more popular it gets, the bigger it is, and I love it. I love to see everyone busy, so that's cool. So Ty, where did this all start for you? Can you take us back to the beginning? What got you into art?
Oh man, that's a great question. As a kid, I was always pretty good at art. It was something I liked to do, probably just as much as any other kid, of a younger age would do. But I did have a couple of things happen to me early on that were kind of enticing me towards this is maybe what I need to do. One of them was, winning a couple of competitions and school-related functions. I entered a couple pieces into a couple of different competitions, very, very young, like second and third grade, and I happened to win a couple of those. And the big one for me, and man, it's one of those moments that you just never forget. Is back in the days of the early '90s when we had an art. I'm from a very small town in Nebraska. We had a junior high, so it was before it was even middle school. So it was like seventh, eighth, and ninth grade.
Oh wow!
And then shortly after I graduated high school, they changed that to, I think it was like a sixth, seventh, eighth, and then high school was ninth grade and up.
That's what I had.
Yeah, we didn't quite have that when I was young.
Okay.
But I'll never forget. And this was about the time that comics came onto my radar at all. We had we were required to take gym class, as everyone did back then, right? And walking to gym class, there was this long hallway that you had to walk past the art rooms, and I had just started school at the junior high, and I wasn't familiar with the art teachers or how to get into an art class yet. It wasn't even an option for me at that time. But I remember walking past this wall of this gallery of pieces that they had from like the first semester's work, and one of the pieces up on the wall was this image of Wolverine, and it's that iconic X-Men Series 1 image, you know, of him with his claws out from you know, from Jim Lee. And I saw that, and man, I stopped in my tracks, and I was like, what is this? This is, I've never seen anything like this. I didn't know who the character was. I didn't know what that world was. But I had to find out. So I started driving people crazy. I'd ask everyone I knew, you know, what is that? What is that? You know, do you know what that is, that image? Long before the internet, long before you could look anything up, it was word of mouth. So I finally met a friend that knew exactly what that image was and who that character was. And they asked me if I'd read Jim Lee's X-Men run. And I'm like, who's Jim Lee? And what is this X-Men run? And he told me that he had all of the covers for X-Men #1. And
Cool.
I was like, you're kidding me. There's multiple covers that, you know, this is not just a single image. It's a bunch of different options that you could get for that cover. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I'll bring one in for you. And so he did. He brought in, it was not the cover with Wolverine and Gambit on it. It was the one with Storm and Professor X, you know, and Archangel in the background.
Okay.
And I was in love, man. It was from there. It was just like, I had to know everything about it. So, you know, growing up in this really, really small town that I did, it soon led to me finding out that, hey, we had a comic book shop in town. And it was everything. I mean, it was amazing. It was a whole other universe for me. I'd beg my mom to take me there on weekends. I would ride bikes with my friends. It was 10 miles back when you just get on your bike and go where you wanted to go.
Yeah,
it's a whole different time, right? And I'd ride my bike there, and in around that time, Image was kind of breaking. So all the Wildcat stuff was coming out and all
Cool.
that. And you know, that was it for me. It was amazing. It would be what I gave all my time to, and what I would seek out with the free time that I had. And yeah, that's where it all started for me. And that's when I knew. I was like, this is it. This
That's
is what
awesome.
I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Did you know who the artist was of the piece that you saw that first sparked your curiosity?
No, so I don't to this day know who made that piece, but I do know how it was made. And it was amazing because it was like it was almost a direct replica of the Jim Lee piece. And
Okay.
I got into art class, and eventually we did the same project. And it was a interesting project where you took Xeroxes and you blew them up, and you used them as like stencils to start a finished piece from. And this is 7th grade, you know, we were just young kids.
Yeah.
And I did my own piece, which was a whole collection of all of the X-Men characters from the blue and the gold team.
Wow.
And my parents, they have it to this day. And for years, probably 15 years, my dad's been like, look, you know, why don't you just remake this piece? Do it today in your own style, and all the things you've learned and all the things you know now. Just remake it. I was like, I don't know if I had time, you know. And if I did remake it, I would never go back and do that same composition and those same elements, because they were Xeroxes of Jim Lee's work and blown up and arranged in a composition, almost like a collage, more or less, right?
Yeah.
And so, interestingly enough, I had a moment after Flare and Platinum and all that kind of settled down where, I had some free time and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna dip my toes into the water again with oil painting. It's been a lot of years since I've done this.
Okay.
And that's when I painted that Cyclops piece that Sideshow picked up. And
Nice.
that was the first piece of me redoing this whole epic panoramic view of all these X-Men characters. And so my plan is to continue to build that out with every character from the 90s.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Blue and gold.
Blue and gold. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. It was a big inspiration for me, and I could totally relate, man. I discovered the comic store in middle school, so that was 6th grade, and shout out Joker's Child, and loved it. It was like they really knew how to draw you in, because they would have the windows, but it was like a deep area where the front window was, but they would always do like some kind of like design or themed, like almost like how like Macy's does like wild stuff in their windows. Like that's what they would do for like I remember like the death of Superman. I remember like crazy events in X-Men, and it was really cool what they would do in their window. And I would walk in there and it would be like a whole nother world. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my god!
Absolutely.
And then you could go and I for me it was the Claremont was really what pulled me in for X-Men. And all of the crazy storylines that was going on, and Jim Lee, I learned of. I was like, oh my god! And so yeah, that's really cool. Would you say that they're your inspiration for what you built up on?
Definitely, definitely a cornerstone of my inspiration for sure.
Nice.
I can still look at that stuff, and all the magic of just comes seeping right out of the page for me again. It's timeless for me. It's not what I would do myself anymore, or stylistically what I'm personally pursuing, perhaps. But man, it definitely captured. It's like a time capsule for a period of time where, all that magic you're talking about. We're walking up to the comic store and then having this cool display on the outside that kind of draws you in. Yeah, it's one of those things for me. It takes you back. It's like a time machine.
Absolutely. And this nostalgia is there. I mean, look at your room. I mean, can we just take a minute to appreciate how cool your studio looks, man? It's really cool.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Absolutely.
I built this up over the years, and just collecting things here and there, and as you probably know yourself, eventually that collection becomes. It takes space.
The bug.
It
takes up space. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it. I would be very distracted to play the video games a lot. Be like, oh,
I do. My youngest son, he'll come out here from time to time just to say hello, and we'll play around. We'll play a couple rounds, and it's fun.
Nice. That's great. That's awesome that you've built like an area where you can get your work done, but also relax and blow off some steam and have a good time. And that's awesome.
Yeah. What you don't see on the other side is my easel, my drawing table, all the other stuff that it's necessary to actually make art.
Yeah. The workbench.
The workbench. Yeah.
There you go. Oh, we got a question. Would you rather sit next to Bob Ross or Jim Lee on an airplane?
Oh. Oh man, that's a great question. That's a tough one. Jeez. I don't know if I can answer that, because Bob Ross was such a big part of my life too. He still is.
Yeah, he'd probably give you some really inspirational things while on the ride, and you get off feeling like.
I would just want to talk to him to know, like, how do you keep so calm and cool no matter what? And maybe that's just an image he put out at the time, but my gosh, I can't believe that it was, because you watch his stuff, and even as a kid, man, you'd raise the hairs on the back of your head because it was just so calming. Like, how did you do that for a whole career, man?
It was on in our household a lot growing up.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. He was a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching all those. So for me, man, yeah, I'd have to say Bob Ross. Sorry, Marvel, but yeah, I'd say Bob Ross. I'd probably leave there feeling like I've learned something very deep and
No
inspirational.
doubt. No doubt. And you can still access Jim Lee today.
Yes,
So,
boom. There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. You could probably talk to Jim Lee about it.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so that's great. So we touched on, what got you in. And did you know about cards back then, or did you only know about comics?
So that the cards were kind of a branch off of the comic store, right?
Okay.
So I'd go into the store and they had the open boxes where they had the individual booster packs, right,
Yeah.
of the different X-Men series. And I'd see them on the counter, and I'd buy a pack from time to time. But then they would start to have like the full collections in the little jewel case, and you could buy like the whole X-Men Series 1, X-Men
Yes.
Series 2, and I bought those. But interestingly, enough is like with time, and you go through your teenage years and your interests change, and you lose track of things you had when you were a kid. They were things that I did lose at some point. I lost track of, and when I was an adult and I had a little extra change sitting around, I was like, I'm going to buy them again. So I actually bought the full on, sealed boxes, and I never got to do that as a kid. So I was like, I'm going to open the actual boxes and try to collect
Nice.
the whole sets this way, and hopefully get like a Jim Lee signature or something. But that didn't happen.
They're tough. They're tough.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like one of the toughest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool though. Yeah, I remember the jewelry cases. I still have them. Like I've lost a few to myself as well. Like you said, we grow up, our interests change, and you focus on
Yeah.
other things. And it wasn't until for me COVID, and then came back in because I was bored and was like, "What? There's Marvel cards still around?"
That's about the same time for me, man. It was around that same time. Yeah, 2019 for me. I remember House of X had just started around that time, and I got invited to go to a comic convention in Utah, which is just not too far from where I am in Las Vegas, and I I went to the comic convention, like kind of being a little bit out of the world of comics for quite some time, and not knowing what was new or relevant at that time. And I remember stumbling upon House of X, which was going on at that time, and that was my first exposure, weirdly enough, to Marvel Legends at conventions. They've got them everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And I bought 2, and I was like, that's it. I gotta have all of these.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I never got into the Marvel Legend. I'd have 3 or 4, but they're not open. And the reason is because I bought them during Secret Wars 2015 release. So they're actually a comic is with them. And
Oh,
it's
nice.
like Thor. Yeah. There's like a bunch of characters from the Secret Wars storyline, but I was like, I'm never opening these, maybe one day to grade the comic if it's, like looks really good. But I like the way they look just all together. But
oh, they look awesome. I know the ones you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
In the package, they are so cool.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, it comes with an exclusive cover. It was cool. It was cool to get.
Yeah.
I think they still do that, right? Didn't in the Legends just do like a Magic the Gathering card for Spider-Man?
I don't know. I haven't. It's been a minute since I bought any Marvel Legends. It's been about probably 6 months since I bought my last one. But maybe.
Yeah, I think they. I think they did. I might be incorrect on but I think it was for Spider-Man Magic the Gathering, and you were able to get. I don't know if it was like an all art or a promo card or something, but that's the latest I've been like, oh wow, okay, they still do cool things like that. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I like when they add something extra. It brings me back to like, what was that, Toy Wiz or Toy Biz, when you get the X-Men with the card in it.
Oh yeah.
Toy Biz, maybe. Yeah.
Yep.
So you briefly touched on, you won some awards. Was that after like for like comic art or just art in general?
No. So that was me just drawing random things as a kid.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, I had a just a couple of drawings. I think actually I think it was my mom or one of my parents entered it into the contest or something. And I ended up winning the contest. And um, this was before, this was like second or third grade. So this was before I had any exposure to comics.
That's cool though. That's awesome. That
Yeah.
gets you the dopamine hit to keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It started to put the idea in my head. Hey, maybe I could do this. Maybe this is something I do maybe a little bit better than the next guy. But
Very
at the
cool.
time, I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, that's great that you had something from that young, kept going with it, and you are where you are today. So that's awesome. Where was it in your, back then, where it was like, this isn't just something I'm enjoying, and this is something I want to pursue as a career?
Well, the honest answer, man, is there really wasn't anything else that I was great at. Um, and the more I did it, the more people would recognize me for that talent. So if if there was anything related to art or drawing as part of a conversation amongst the kids in high school, I was always a name that was part of that conversation. So I just had this. Uh, it was kind of like an identity for me,
Hmm.
a way to be. I was never a popular kid by any stretch of the imagination, uh, but it was a way to me to be socially like relevant with the high school crowd,
Okay.
Um, but I had a teacher. I remember it was like 11th grade. I was taking an art class, and I had a teacher who started to convince me that maybe I should make this a career, and that I should look into maybe going to even going to college for art. And back in 1997, um, uh, the Savannah College of Art and Design in Georgia had a program which was called sequential art, and you could get a degree in it. And I was like, wait, you can get a degree in comics? What? I was like, for real? And I was like, well, I think that's what I want to do. And so my dad and we took a trip out to Savannah as part of this school orientation not orientation, it was kind of like I'm not sure what it was called, but they were welcoming students to come see the campus and, to show your portfolio, and to talk to different teachers or professors and different students that are, graduating from the school. And I remember being there with my portfolio of high school stuff, which, if you've ever seen a high schooler's portfolio, it's like half unfinished work. It's like just ridiculous collection of images. Um, and I remember though thinking at the time, was like, oh, I'm going to go in and I'm going to show them how amazing I am. And they're going to look at my portfolio and they're going to be like, oh, we'll pay for you to come to school here. Well, that didn't happen. So I showed my stuff to this student portfolio reviewer that they had, and they had nothing good to say about it. Uh, in fact, they told me everything I was doing wrong.
Oh,
What a
geez.
what a mess it was. What a just all my compositions were just disaster. Just all these things, and I was like, I left there thinking, oh my gosh, this is a different world. I mean, I'm playing at a different level here with these people, and I got to see other students work, and it was humbling, man. It was like, Ty, you might in your little small town world, you might have been okay, but in the big world, you're nothing, man. Um, so, thankfully, um, I owe a lot to my parents because they moved freaking heaven and earth to make sure that I could go to school there. Um, and so I did get to go to school at SCAD, which is the acronym for Savannah College of Art and Design. Um, and it was great on so many levels, but in hindsight, after completing the program with them, I I really don't know that I would today go that same route.
Okay.
Based on what I learned, it seemed like there was what they believe to be like a formula, like a set of rules or how comics are made, and there's kind of a bit of a right and a wrong to making comics. And the minute I got out of school, I realized, well, that's not true at all. There's so many different ways to create art for comics that are valid. And I determined very quickly that a lot of those lessons I learned from school probably weren't going to be too useful to me. But the things that I took away from school, the big things that to this day kind of shaped me, were just having the opportunity to have the exposure and the knowledge that there are a lot of talented people out there. There are a lot of amazing artists out there. That the competition, man, it's fierce. It is fierce. And the opportunities, the pool of opportunities is by contrast a lot smaller than the amount of competition you actually have out there. So that was worth every penny to me to learn that,
No, that's definitely humbling.
Yeah.
And that's in Savannah, Georgia?
That's in Savannah, Georgia. They still have the program to this day. It was really cool, man, because they had a lot of editors from DC and Marvel. I got to go into Joe Quesada's office and meet him. I got to meet the Batman editors at the time and go into the DC offices because they really liked they had connections with the professors at the school.
Oh, wow.
So it was really cool to get to see all that. And it was, nothing ever came from it. I had to forge my own opportunities. The school really didn't offer me much in the way of, oh, hey,
It's Casa.
the Modoc. Yeah, I remember. Man, that's been a long time. 2025. Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember what I was saying, but it was, they didn't really provide any opportunities for me, the school itself. I did have to find my own way, eventually.
That's really cool, though, that they had the connections to like DC and all these production, artists and the way they were doing comics. So you actually got to see it through the connections of the artists. So that's really cool from it.
It was really cool. Yeah. But it was interesting. Sorry, I'm going off on some tangents here. So if you need me to veer back,
that's why we're calling it. We ramble. We're good, bro.
Right, okay. But they had a view on comics in the industry that they would kind of preach at the school that it did I think eventually cause me to make decisions about my future after school that I wouldn't have made if I'd known what I know today. And they had this outlook on the industry that it was dying, and they would talk about it all the time. And it definitely isn't the same industry it was in the 90s, but here we are 25 years after graduation, and I could have stuck it out in comics and done something more than I did.
Yeah, that's you hear that every once in a while. You're like, oh, comics are dying. And I'm like, I've never seen them really die. I mean, there always shows interest in a storyline. I mean, I've always known people to go through the comic store and pick up regularly. Of course, maybe if there isn't great runs at the current time, you might see less traffic, but that's not stopping people from, going and reading the comics. And I like to buy, I'm one of your, like your friend earlier. I love to get multiple different arts of like comic number one. So I have like mad variants of like all these different colors. You know what I mean? So like, I enjoy going to the comic store. The people, I still go to Joker's Child. I don't live there in the town anymore, but I still drive over there, and it's the same owners, and it's dope. It's it's a great experience.
And you're so fortunate that that place is still around. The comic shop I had as a kid, it didn't last even through my high school career. It closed before I graduated high school.
Yeah, it's tough. It wasn't tough. I can only imagine how hard it is. I mean, But yeah, man, it's so crazy because when you start remembering back, you know, like I mentioned this the other not too long ago, but I remember buying Marvel cards. But when I was buying Marvel cards, Pokemon and Magic were like just coming out, and it was like I should have been buying everything.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Man, if you had what was it? A Black Lotus?
Yeah, or anything, you know,
Oh, man.
anything from the beginning, early days. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just put in my binder, all clean and nice and pristine, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, worth a fortune.
Yeah, geez, or something. You know what I mean? Pay for my kid's car or something.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
But you know, you said one of the cornerstones of inspiration for you was like Jim Lee, but you definitely have a really distinct feel. Like it's gritty, expressive, grounded in like how your characters are. How did you develop like that style?
Oh man, that's a great question. I don't know I don't know that there's a straight kind of linear path to that. Um, it definitely early on, I did a lot of mimicking the things that I liked. Right. I used to be an enormous back in the early 2000s. I was a huge Adam Hughes fan, and I
Okay.
still am. I still love his work, but it's from my perspective at that time, man, there was no one that could do better. Um, and I wanted to draw just like him, but then I didn't anymore. The more I drew, I was like, this thing here grabbed my interest, and then this thing here grabbed my interest. Um, oh, but going back to the very start of my introduction to comics, I forgot to mention this. I had a friend of the family, that my mom's best friend, that we would see every year at Christmas time and multiple times during the year, but she would always buy us gifts. And she would every year buy me the latest Boris Vallejo and Julie Bell, fantasy calendar.
Oh, cool.
And it was amazing imagery. It was like the coolest stuff I'd ever seen. But I always thought to myself, I'll never be able to do anything like that. That's a whole other level of talent right there. But then the older I got, the more I was continually drawn to that type of work. And at my age right now, I look at that kind of stuff and I'm just like, it's still like the top of the stack in terms of like what you can achieve in a realistic kind of comic style. I guess the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try in my own way to kind of move in that direction, and just see what I can do.
Yeah, I love that journey, man. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what you create because when you look at what some of the pieces that you've done recently, especially the compilation where it's like we put them together and it's an insane story. It's like almost like you're watching like an episode of the X-Men cartoon or something, or reading a comic that's coming to life, and you're like, I can tell what's going on in this scene without any word bubbles, without anything, and you let your mind play with it, and I might come up with a different what's going on in that than you or someone else, but it's alive, like it's pulling you in, it's got something. So I always tell an artist, when you can be tell such a great story with your illustration, it's a beautiful thing to see. I mean, I can walk past a painting, or I could look at this piece and I could say, oh, that's really cool piece, oh, that's dope, or man, that's fire. But then you walk by some and it's like it catches your eye, and then you notice yourself standing closer to it, closer to it,
Yeah.
closer to it, and you're like, oh my god, and you're looking at it, and then you step back and it takes you away. You're like, this is a whole, it's almost like it's not a moving image, but it's almost like it's a scene, and you're like, I love those. And to me, that's what I really get drawn into. And to see you progress with, from what I've seen from, like the card art, and then now you're doing like these crazy commissions where you're doing this work, and I love it. So
yeah, man, I
love Julie Bell
that.
and Boris. So keep going. That's a great style. Keep up with the oils. It's you can see how much it's awesome, and I love the progression. So
Thanks, man.
I
Yeah, I
can't wait to
appreciate
see what you do for tops or whatever.
it. Yeah, and it's challenging too. Like I wish I could just commit to one medium. Um, Oils, I love it. It's so much fun. But then I constantly think to myself, can I do this in acrylic? Can I make this look, stylistically the same? And I'm like,
Okay.
so I'm constantly jumping between the two. And now I've just got this like crazy itch to try watercolor. And I don't know
Oh,
why I'm thinking that. So, but we'll see.
I'm curious. I'm actually a big fan of watercolor. I mean, I love oils, I love acrylic, I like mixed media, but there's something about a great watercolor to me that just I like the way it flows. Or
Me too, man. Yeah.
yeah, I
It's
really
got a texture to it and
yeah yeah yeah
it's got a unique, distinct look to it. So
yes yeah. I mean, to me, if you want something that's got a lot of feel to it, that's like an oil. You could see, you could move it, and you could see, oh wow, you could see the process of it and the work. The watercolor is
yeah.
like a splash, a drag. It's like I
Yep.
love the way it comes out and how unexpected it might turn out. You know what I mean? So at least when I've tried my little playing around with paint on a piece of paper,
Yeah. No,
know.
it's and you have to work incredibly fast too, right? So like most watercolor paintings happen in 1 to very few sessions, and that's so different than oil. I can drag that out for weeks.
Oh, I'm sure you could remanipulate it or rework it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So I'd be cool to see what you do.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Open up commissions. So I'll grab a watercolor man thing from you.
I'm interested myself to see what I do.
Yeah. So I know you were saying, like a creative process, but like,
Mhm.
how would you say that you walk us through your creative process from a blank to a finished piece?
Oh, okay. Uh, Great question. It depends on what I'm doing. I'll tell you that first and foremost. If I'm just doing a pinup, it's it's the approach is it always starts with the idea, um, about what I want to show the viewer, what I want them to understand from it. So I'll think through that systematically with sketches and thumbnails and drawings of different approaches to compositionally to kind of to what best sells that idea
Mm,
that I'm trying to sell. But if I'm doing a piece like one of the big oil paintings where, like you commented, I'm trying to tell a story. I'm trying to show some big epic scene where there's a lot of things happening, and you're supposed to understand different things from the characters based on their expression and their pose. Um, it starts always with um, I think first trying to capture the uh, the personality of that character. Just thinking through what pose is gonna sell this personality, this character,
okay.
but it's gonna tell this moment in the story, and then I'll start to gather reference. And all artists, all great artists use copious amounts of reference,
Yeah.
and I'm no different. I definitely spend some time collecting reference and making sure that I have just a real good understanding of what drives this anatomy for this particular pose. Um, what does lighting look like in this particular situation? A lot of that stuff I've developed actually from my day job, the work that I do uh, for my 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So I'll use different things to help me understand lighting and anatomy, like 3D. I'll use a lot of 3D to start to place objects in the scene so that I to start to build out an understanding for um, correct perspective and correct
Mm,
foreshortening and things like that. And then the more information that I can gather, the better. The better that I feel like the piece is going to come out in the end. And that is where I spend probably 95% of the time is
okay.
actually in collecting reference and gathering sketches and all kinds of things to understand what the piece will ultimately be. And the execution itself, the actual creation of the painting, I don't really even have to think. It's almost like being on autopilot. I can turn my brain off. Actually, the more that I turn my brain off, the better it comes out. So I'm always looking for forms of distraction, whether that be music or podcast or something like that. So I'm not actually thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. And so,
Oh wow.
yeah. So all of the pre work, the preparation, that's where the work is.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, that sounds awesome that you're putting in that much prep to get that outcome. It definitely shows. You ever use
Yeah.
your Legends figures for like perspective or to see like how, somebody would be moving or something?
No. I get that question a lot, though. People ask me that
That's
often.
what I would do as an amateur.
Well, no, but it's not a bad idea by any at all. It's a great reference. The Marvel Legends. It's just their articulation and the way that they kind of
Mm,
they move. It's so limited, right? And so a lot of the nuance that I'm always looking for, like, hey, this is what a shoulder joint does when you lift your arm. Well, I mean, you can't
no,
get that from the Marvel
no.
Legends figures. But definitely, sometimes I'll lean into like the Hot Toys or the
Okay.
larger formats, and I'll look at them for ideas about, this is what happens when the light wraps around this character's face, and this is what happens when their cape folds. If it's a fabric cape, this is what happens when their cape folds in this way. But yeah, I mean, you'd think I would use more of these figures around me for
Yeah, I was
reference,
just
but
curious,
they just
I've seen artists use like statues or lots of
yeah.
things. Like it's good to just see, like you said, lighting source might depict a different shadow or something. So it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
man, they're all valid sources. They're all
Yeah.
valid references for sure. But um, yeah, I don't know. I seem to be able to pull a lot more from 3D than I do from any of these actual figures that I've got here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll go in like on the city scene for that X-Men panoramic that I'm doing, that painting. I'll go in and I'll model the buildings in the 3D software and get them kind of positioned into a place where I can understand. And um, I'm not the type of artist that will trace anything, so I will redraw it, so because it
Mhm.
always looks better. And then I'll just use that as a reference, and I feel like it's very trustworthy. The perspective is perfect because I set it up to be that way in 3D.
Oh, that's cool. How the blending of like your 9 to 5 is actually assisting with you're pulling like depth and character into your pieces. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, all the things that I put my hands on that are their art, they kind of influence in some way. Strangely, some way they influence the work I even do, with the comic stuff.
Oh,
Man,
that's
there was a
awesome.
period of time when my kids were really young, and I don't know, I got the itch to learn photography, and I took so many pictures, and I just started to understand. Um, oh, hey, Casey. um, I started to understand what, like, the different lenses did to distortion on people's faces and their features, and it led to me kind of diving into this world of cinematography and understanding the way that camera lenses affect the things you see
Okay.
in a certain scene, um, and just developing that understanding led to me um, better understanding uh, in 3D how to get the look that I want, and then how to get the look that I want in 2D. It all influences uh, each other.
Very cool. That's great. I mean, it seems like it almost is meant to be that. I know we kind of mentioned earlier that uh, the way college was saying, oh, the comics are dead, and maybe you took some roads that you shouldn't have. But it
Yeah,
almost seems like it worked out to where these are definitely influencing each other, and it's got you on this journey. So, hey, you never know where you're
absolutely.
supposed to be when you're
That's
supposed to
right,
be
man.
there. Just follow that road, man. So
Yeah,
that
and it's not a
that's
linear
awesome.
path, right?
Yeah,
It's a
no,
very
man.
curved and winding road.
Absolutely. And it's great to see, Some people, and you know what? I got it from everything you've been saying. You had one heck of a support group around you growing up. That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
It seems like
I
no
did.
matter what, someone was always like, "No, Ty, keep going, keep your head up." So that's dope. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was huge, and I didn't know it at the time. Like, I mean, I remember, um, like my dad was this big believer that I had to have the right tools too. Like, so back when the Cintiqs, I don't know if you know what a Cintiq is, but it's that large screen that artists draw on digitally.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them, but you can't see them. They're on the other side of this wall here. But um, it was back when like digital art was taking off, and a lot of artists were converting to drawing, digitally.
Mhm.
And my dad was like, "Oh, you got to have a Cintiq," and so I don't know how he made that happen, but he did, and I got to learn how to do digital painting, which directly influenced my 9 to 5 job and my ability to do that type of work. But inadvertently influenced the way that I approach comics and everything as well. So
Nice.
yeah, I had some awesome support, growing up.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. That's great to see. I mean, not everyone has it, and to be able to hear that, that's awesome, and it definitely shows. What tools you were saying that you just you feel like you should have? Do you still feel like you should have the best tools or some of the best tools?
I mean, it's not about the tool. It's about, it's because at the end of the day, it's just a tool,
Yeah.
right? Um, it doesn't help me progress my skill or my abilities in any way. More these days, I'm just like, just give me paper and a pencil. Give me a canvas and a brush and some paint, and that to me is right now in this period of my life is pushing me further than any other piece of tech or anything like that.
Yeah, there you go. Do you have a favorite or preferred?
A preferred medium or
No, preferred medium, preferred brand of paints or brushes?
oh yeah, no, that's a great question. Um, you know, I'm really loving oil paint right now. Um, I think that the majority of my oil paint collection is Winsor and Newton, and it wasn't based more so off of like it was better than another, but I think it was accessibility at the
Okay.
time, and so I picked up a bunch of their paints, and I've added to the collection since from all different varieties and makers of paint. So it's cool medium because you can mix all these different manufacturers paint, and you can combine it together, and you get beautiful results. So yeah, I think probably any oil paint is great unless it's like a student grade. I don't know that will get the same results for somebody who wanted to work professionally with it that like a pro level
Mm,
oil paint would. But you can
nice.
mix and match any manufacturer, brand, or anything.
Oh, it's good to know. I didn't know that, so that's cool. That's good
Yeah.
stuff. Um, what's the most challenging part of your process for you?
Most challenging part of my process is time. Um,
Mm,
Man, I just it. Hey Ben. Um, yeah, time is tough. It's one of those things where because I do work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and sometimes weekends. Like sometimes it takes over my weekends as well, and sometimes my nights and my mornings, depending on whatever we have going on at the moment and how big the project is or what the timelines are surrounding it. But I have been able to establish for myself a kind of like a routine that works. I'm a super early riser, so I'm up at 3:30 a.m. or 4 a.m. and I'm at my easel painting by no later than like 4:15. I get my cup of coffee and I'm there, and I'll do that until about 6:30, and then my son and I go to the gym, and then I go to work,
nice.
and then I'm dead after work. I'm a zombie. um, I just wish I had more time, than I do. So I probably get collectively right now, probably 20, 30 hours that I can do comic stuff, where it would be ideal to have, 10 hours a day if I could.
Yeah. It's a hard juggle. I can only imagine.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's good time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can. You can see it in your work. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
You enjoy what you do. You're a master at your craft, so it's dope. You've built a very strong connection with collectors. What does that relationship mean to you?
Oh man. Well, it's interesting because like the card communities, the collectors in that community, are very different than any ones that I've experienced, like in specifically comics or in any other industry. It seems like, at least in my experience, they've been a lot more friendly, and just very nice, incredible people. It's not uncommon for me to feel like people constantly will want things from me, and that they expect commission work from me or whatever it is that they need from me artistically. But this community, man, they go out of their way to kind of give back in the craziest ways. I'll never forget when I did Justin's after Flare came out. I did Justin's YouTube stream with him, and after the stream was over, he sent me a message saying, "Hey, can I get your address?" And the community of card collectors can put together a couple of cards for you. And I was expecting like 1 or 2 cards, and oh man, I got a package from them that it was just, it was, gosh, it must have been 50 or 60 of my cards, and I was like, this is crazy, this is incredible. And it was so cool because like Upperdeck didn't provide me any samples of the work, so it was an opportunity for me to get some into my hands, and I just thought that was incredible, man. It's I'd never experienced anything like that before.
Yeah, shout out Justin, Spidey Hits, Marvel card community.
Yeah, very, very cool people.
Yeah, 100%. Agree there. Yeah, you know what? I think it's the accessibility to the product, or the not in the current market too much, but the accessibility of the product. We all were ripping boxes. We all love the art that's actually on the cards. When it wasn't reprocessed art, right? It was actually original art. And it was someone you may have met at a convention. It may have been someone that you knew somehow through comics or something. And it's like, oh, and like you said, it seems more approachable to where, all the artists could be, we appreciate it. You know what I mean? I mean, when we hit an auto of original art or something, we're all talking about it. We're sharing it on Discord, or I'm putting it on Instagram. You know what I mean? Some people who are just in the comics or the comic art, it's tough because you may not be able to afford it. I could appreciate it, but I can't, I might know the artist and your work, you know what I mean? But there isn't that connection to where I could be like, hey, Ty, you want to come rip a box with us on our live? Or like we did, it was a great experience. And you're not getting that. What are you going to do? Ask somebody to be like, hey, let's read your comic together on the channel. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to do that. You be Batman, I'll be Bane. You know what I mean? We'll alternate.
Yeah, I remember after Platinum and Flare came out, I would get these random DMs in Instagram, people just sending me video clips of them with the card, the auto they just got, and a couple of one-of-ones, the gold cards. And I was like, man, that is so cool. It's incredible. It's interesting to see, oh, that person has that. You always wonder, and at least I did. We're like, hey, where's this 101 gonna go? Like, is this, who's gonna end up with this card?
We all wonder that.
yeah, I know. A few of them I do know. Like, I know for one, like my brother-in-law, he got his hands on the 101 Winter Soldier from Platinum, and I was like, oh man, that's amazing to know where that's at.
Yeah, that's great. That's cool.
Yeah. Let's go.
Sign it for him.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's yeah, but it's just incredible. It's so fun to be a part of that community and to you know, to interact with all these amazing people, these very kind people. So
Oh, that's great to hear. That's awesome, and to see when artists are, you know, receptive to it and are open to, you know, taking, because, you know, some people aren't, you know, it's like, oh, I'm going to draw something and enjoy it, but I'm going to stay over here, and that's cool too. You know, not everyone's, you know, willing to be out, you know, and
yeah,
out on, you know, YouTube, or, you know, I know some artists that stopped going to conventions because they were, you know, it was a little too much for them. You know, they're friendly to reach out to, and they're receptive and everything, but they're like, it was a little too much. So it's always fun just to be able to have an artist that's approachable. You know, you said you do conventions yourselves, so like, what's your experience with conventions?
oh man, I actually love doing them. Yeah, I wish I had more time to you know, to dedicate to doing them. Um, as anyone who does conventions knows, it's so much prep work to prepare for the convention, and then in my case, you know, I have to take the time off of work, which I'm happy to do for the bigger conventions. Um, and then always there's, you know, traveling as well. Let's see.
Yeah. As a
Reading the
collector
question.
and a fan for much of your life, the
Did
feelings,
it, I
I
made
did
it.
it, I made it once you got the licensed work and you had your pieces published.
You know, there's definitely, I'll come back to your question about conventions. There's definitely, I got to tick off some bucket list type things, right?
Oh, cool.
Um, Man, you know, as a kid, like we were talking early on about the trading cards, the X-Men Series 1, Series 2, and the Marvel masterpieces from that time. I was into that as well. I was thinking, man, how lucky you must be to contribute to this thing in some way. It's not like there's 1,000 artists contributing to these things. It's a very small pool of people. And I was like, I don't know if that'll ever happen for me, but the fact that I got to be a small part of it, I was like, man, that feels amazing. Um, so definitely got to cross off a couple bucket list things by being able to do that.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great question as a fan. Yeah. That's really cool. I'm sure. I mean, to be able to say that you collected, I mean, what's your favorite out of like comics? What was your favorite run? Have you have gotten to like work on something yet? As an experience on both of those.
Yeah, my favorite that I actually worked on, or
Yeah.
okay. Well, I didn't actually. That's an interesting story. We didn't talk about. My career in comics was actually fairly short-lived. It was back in the early 2000s, around the time when I did that Modoc piece for Casra. Um, at that time, I remember I had been married for just a couple of years, or I had just gotten married. I'd been married for a year, and trying to get into comics, I realized like early on that I don't know if I can start a family working 22 hours a day.
It's
I'm
tough.
not sure that I can make this happen. Um, and so that was at the time where I kind of made a decision. It kind of came to this fork in the road where I got into the game industry, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this out for a while. And then here I am, you know, 20 years later, still in the game industry. Um, but yeah, you know, yeah. Did I answer your question? I'm not sure.
Oh, well, what was your favorite comic thing that you worked on? Comic run
Favorite
or
comic thing?
yeah, yeah.
My
In
favorite
the
thing
early
that I
2000s.
did early on was, yeah, the stuff I did some stuff for DC, for
Okay.
the trading card series, the Versus, DC Versus, I think it was.
Okay, cool.
I enjoyed that stuff. And then the best stuff I did was I got to do a story arc for Lone Star Press. I don't know if they're still around. They were a small independent publisher. Bill Williamson was the writer, and I loved working on that. I got to legitimately do the pencils and all that, and I thought that was amazing. And for a short time, I was under the mentorship of Pop Man. You know Pop Man, the comic artist?
I've heard of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was living in Virginia at the time, and he's a great guy, tremendous guy, super talented comic artist as well. But he was working on Batgirl at the time,
Cool.
and he allowed me to be kind of like his shadow penciler. So
Oh,
while
wow.
he was, and it was a really cool experience, very short-lived experience. It was a lot of traveling to get to Pop, and it kind of fizzled out after a period of time. Um, but yeah, those were the coolest memories I have of my early comic stuff.
Nice. Who's your favorite character to draw or paint?
Favorite character to draw? Oh man, it's got to be Wolverine.
Okay.
And it goes back to that first image that I
Yeah.
saw that I told you about. That to me was like, uh, I'm always chasing the feeling I got from that. So he's my favorite to draw and to paint, and ironically, I don't get an opportunity to draw him as much as I would like to. When I got to do him for Flair, that was amazing. That was so incredible. Um, but I love to draw Rogue. I love to draw Gambit. Cyclops, he's my guy. I love all those characters. Those four are probably my favorite.
Nice. Core team.
Yeah,
Strong
yeah,
characters. X-Men's my fave, man. Mutants all the way.
yeah. Me too, man.
Um, so like how do you handle like creative burnouts or like a stretch of non-inspiration?
Wow, that's a really good question. Because it does happen. It does happen. I think to everyone.
Hmm.
Uh, but I think that for me, when it does happen, what I'll do is I will approach it by teaching myself something new, whether it's a new skill, like a new medium. Say, for example, like me wanting to dip into watercolors right now, or if that doesn't work, I will go back to the source material from when I was a kid, and I'll start reading again the series from when I was a kid, and it just will always just light me up. It'll just get me going again, inevitably. But I'll tell you, I don't remember the last time I was bored, and you probably. I mean, as we get older, it's hard to find time to be bored.
Yeah.
So I always have a million projects I want to do that I just don't have time to do, and more often than not, I'm trying to figure out what to approach first and next, which is the best use of my time. Uh, so yeah, I don't struggle as much as I used to when I was younger with burnout, but it does still happen from time to time.
That's a great way to handle it. Try to learn a new set or skill. So
Yeah,
that's a great way to
yeah,
handle it.
it's crazy how it works, man. It's
Yeah. Because you're gonna be attuned to want to learn something, and then you could implement it and keep a
yeah,
sneaky way to not be bored, but still be keeping your attention focused.
that's
So
right. Yeah.
that's a dope way to do it. What excites you about where things are headed right now in cards or comics?
Oh man. Um, well, in comics right now, I mean, at least I'll speak specifically in terms of like my favorite X-Men. There's not a lot that's got me excited right now. I'd love to see, I guess, thinking forward, thinking ahead. I'd like to see that get it back on its feet. So
Okay.
that keeps me engaged. I just want to see. I want to see that become great again. But in terms of cards, I'm actually super interested to see what Topps does with the license, the Marvel license. Um, I've seen a lot of cool stuff come out from them so far, and I'm kind of excited to see where they go with it. What they do with it. I'd love to see. Shoot, I'd love to see a new a Masterworks, or I
Mm,
guess that's their equivalent of the Marvel
yes.
masterpieces.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that from them. you know. So
Me too.
I guess what excites me is the unknowns. You know, what's coming. You know,
I can't wait to find out who the artist is, and or if it's one artist like Masterpieces. You know, I don't know the format that they do, but I believe it's called Masterworks. That's what the Star Wars is called. So I think they would probably just call it Marvel Masterworks, but I don't know. But I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see any original art from come out of them. But Masterworks would be a dope set to see.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because
So
yeah, go.
I will look forward to that. No, I was just gonna say I'm looking forward to that too, man.
Yeah, me too. They announced it right when they said they got the license, so there was supposed to be, you know,
Oh, did
something.
they? Oh,
Well, yeah,
okay.
I believe they announced when they first took over, like the things that were going to be on a roadmap or something like that, and I believe Masterworks was on one of those things. Maybe maybe it was Upperdeck DC Masterpieces, but maybe wrong. Maybe the chat will know, or when somebody watches it, they can comment. But I
Nice.
believe it was on the roadmap for future sets. I don't know when it's coming out or anything, but that'd be great to see.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm riding the DC wave. I'm enjoying Upper Decks DC.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff too. Yeah, the stuff I've seen from that is it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get anything from the animated Batman the animated series set. I think I have something like that from when I was younger, so I don't need another binder or something like that. But I'm excited to see the Superman set because a friend of ours, PJ, did 25 original art pieces that are in that set, so that'll be cool to see.
Fantastic.
Miles did some pieces that are in there, so that'll be cool to see. So I'm probably going to buy a box or two of that just because I want to see my friend's artwork, you know, and maybe I'll get an auto of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. But yeah, that's dope. It's cool that you're interested in the cards. Are you collecting cards yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I have tons and tons of boxes of cards.
Nice.
But right now, I'm kind of going through this phase of trying to go back and get older stuff when I can afford it. You know, go back and get some of the older sets that I missed. You know. Let's see, Ben, he's got a comment there.
He says, yeah, I feel a lot of us artists or fans are blessed to get to be a part of the community. And so we want to make the community happy and do our absolute best every time. Well said, Ben.
100%. Yeah.
Well said. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really cool.
Yeah. So that's been my card collecting lately, is trying to go back and get some of the stuff that I missed
Nice.
from that gap between like 2002 to 2020, somewhere around there.
Oh, that's a crazy
I got quite a gap.
Yeah, I feel you though, because I'm like the same. I think the same way. I'm like, maybe I'll do this, but you got some big sets in between there, man. You got both retros with 2013, 2015.
Yeah, and then I don't know if I can afford it, but
Oh man, but you know what? I'm sure you would feel this way. But there's a 2018 Fleer Ultra X-Men set that would be one of the coolest set. It's so hard to find out in the wild, but
is it?
Yeah.
When you say that, it sounds expensive.
it probably, yeah. I mean, it's very hard to find just because there's a whole story about what happened. Like somebody bought like basically the whole release from retail or something like that, or most of it. So I believe that person has like the whole collection or something crazy thing like that. Yeah.
That is crazy. Wow.
So even if we were around collecting cards, it probably would have been hard to get some. Yeah. I believe you can buy a base set or something like that. I've seen them on eBay. They pop up here and there. So something to keep an eye out for. But that would be a set you would probably really like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I will go on the hunt for that.
Yeah. 2018 Fleer Ultra X-Men. So what do you I know you mentioned you got some stuff that you can't really talk about or anything. So you're busy. So you're going to be busy in the future. You got a lot of stuff coming down the pike. I'm excited to see. I know you said you couldn't say anything because like NSDs and agreements and contracts and all that. So that's cool. The stuff with Tops, I'm excited to see. I know you guys don't know when sets are coming out, or you wouldn't be privy to let us know anyway. But
no, they don't tell us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Like it's there are things too that I've done that will never see the light of day. Like they for whatever reason got canceled, you know, in the production pipeline. And that stuff I'll never be able to share. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, yeah. I'm excited to learn when some of this other stuff will come out that I worked on. It'll be a surprise to me as well.
So coming back around to the conventions, so like how important are conventions for you to go and you know, meet the community and everything?
Super important. Like I said, I would love to do, gosh, I'd do all of them. If I could, I would do all of them. They definitely energize me. They give me this drive to to do more every time I attend one. It's just they're too far and few between right now. I really want to attend OAX.
I was gonna ask, bro.
Oh my gosh, man! I've had so many people ask me. It's incredible. I keep promising people that I will do it, but I will, and so I'm gonna try to make it next year for sure.
For 27 or 20?
Yeah, for 27.
Oh,
27,
let's go, bro.
Yeah.
I hope you can make everything work out to where we see you there, bro.
I hope so too.
You would be a huge addition to the CEX Card Art Expo at OAX.
Yeah, and I have a lot of people that I'm holding on. I've got a lot of the Marvel Flair work, like the pencil work that I did for all the cards. I still have all of them. The only person who has anything original from my card work is Justin. He's got two of my Topps flagship Marvel flagship 2024 stuff that I did.
Cool.
But I've got all of the others. I mean, everything is called for, but it's at some point I need to like ship it to them.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll just see them at OAX, you know.
Well, that's easy. It's safe shipping.
Yeah.
Bring it all there.
Bring it all there.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of preliminary art. Do I have it right here? Do I have it? Did I not have it? I was gonna say I have Oliver Harbor's Rocket Raccoon preliminary art from 23 Flair.
Oh, right on. Yeah. I remember
like,
when he released that stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah. He put it in a cool little thing. It signed it. It's awesome. So we love preliminary art. The community loves it.
There was more like my process is I do a really refined sketch before I start painting. But these are more like the really refined sketch. So I don't have any of like the loose kind of early stuff, but
yeah,
I've got a lot of the refined sketches.
Oh, those are probably, I can't wait to see those start popping up on people's Instagrams or Facebooks.
I get questions about them all the time. Constantly. Yeah.
That's cool. I really hope to see you at OAX. It was actually one of the questions I was definitely going to ask. But so yeah,
that's the big one I want to try to make. Other ones I have made recently, like the town I'm from in Nebraska, they, every year they ask me to come out. And so I went last year, they flew me out there for that. And that was amazing. I couldn't go this year due to some things going on at home, but, yeah, I'm going to try to make more conventions. I used to go to San Diego Comic-Con in the early 2000s. I was there most years.
Wow.
And, I'd love to see what that looks like today. It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Yeah. I've never made it to San Diego, and I've never made it to with MegaCon in Orlando.
Yeah, I used to do MegaCon too. Yeah, I used to live in Orlando, so.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I've done New York Comic Con every year since 2011.
That's one I haven't done yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
A lot of people, man.
I imagine that's close to San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's very, yes. Yep. I think it's the same company, Repop or whatever. But yeah, it's crazy. It's it seemed like there was always a lot of people back in the day, but it seemed like it was, I don't know, more manageable. Now it's like you're not walking down an aisle. You might not get down certain aisles, and
it's just an ocean of people.
Yeah, like
yeah.
It's like, oh my God. It's like Yeah, so I don't. I've been saying this on the channel for a while. I've been saying it to my friends. But yeah, OAX is the show that I'll be at every year, God willing. I try to attend every
Yeah,
year, and
I got to see what it's all about. So I'm gonna try to go
27.
next year.
The whole family's coming. Doing the
Yeah,
whole family. Yep.
awesome. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Hopefully, I'll
First
run
year was
into you
just
there.
me and my girl. We did the couples VIP. Highly recommend it. And then the just passed. I took my son. He's
Awesome.
going off to college, so I thought it'd be fun for us to do before he leaves.
That is cool.
Yeah, and then now everyone will go because
Yeah,
I think 16 under is free. 16 and under.
Oh,
So,
cool. Okay.
yeah, my daughter will go for free, which helps.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely bring the whole family.
You got Universal, you got Epic, you got Disney. Everything's right across the street, bro.
Oh, cool.
So you can
Nice.
make, you can turn it into something. You know what I mean? Instead of, we're going 2 days early, leaving it 2 days later. So we got time to do stuff while we're there. Do something with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, make it a vacation or
Yeah,
a weekend out of it. Yeah, cool.
Exactly. So how do you balance your creative freedom with like your client expectations and commissions?
That's interesting. It's interesting. Like, I'm a lot more selective these days about what I will take on in terms of commissions. I used to, it used to not be a luxury that I had at all. Is I had to take anything to afford to eat. Anything that came my way. But these days, I'm a little bit more selective. If it doesn't interest me, the subject doesn't interest me, I probably won't do it. So whatever I do take on, I really do feel passionate about it. And so that helps for sure. Sorry, what was the question again? The core of the question?
Yeah, no, you're good. The balance, how do you balance your creative freedom with like how somebody wants a commission from you?
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Most of the commissions I do take on are fairly open-ended, I'd say.
Okay,
Right?
there you go.
It's like a character that they want to see, and so I'll do the character. But as far as composition and medium and things like that, we'll agree on those terms. But I kind of get to decide more often than not what it is that
Nice.
I do represent in the image,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's stuff for like tops or upper decker and stuff like that. Yeah, he's got great questions. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, because I personally like to leave creative freedom. So I don't want to restrict. If I were to be like, hey Ty, I want you to do Man Thing, I'm not restricting you in any shape, way, or form with giving you too many things that I want in the painting or how I want you to represent it, where it might cause a conflict in your process.
Actually, that is great to hear that, because that is actually my favorite type of commission to take on. If there's and this happens from time to time, and these days I just say no. I'm not gonna do it. Is if they have like a whole set of things that they want to see in the image and a specific composition and very specific details about costuming and things like that. Those can be kind of stifling parameters to kind of to create something really cool within at times. But yeah, most often than not, it's I get stuff like what you're talking about, where people say, hey, I just want to see this character. Have fun, do whatever you want. I love doing that stuff. You'll get the best work from me always, if you give me that freedom.
There you go.
So, yeah.
You heard it, guys and gals. That's what you got to do. I mean, that's how I personally like it, because I feel like the best outcome is going to come out of it. It's going to be yours. It's what comes out of your head in your process or however. So
That's right.
I like that as well. So that's great. What should collectors look for when supporting artists?
What should they look for?
Yeah, like hitting you up on your conventions. You make prints, or are you going to do
Oh,
sketch cards? You do sketch card commissions?
I'm actually doing a series of sketch cards right now. Um,
Nice.
yeah, I'm working with a client, and I'm having a great time on it. It's so much fun.
Oh,
It, it's
wow.
it's my first time doing sketch cards, but I'm going a little crazy. It's like full oils on these sketch cards, um, but I'm having a blast doing it. And um, the the commissioner is giving me plenty of time to just go at a pace that's comfortable, that doesn't take away from my freelance, the bigger gigs or my nine
Mhm.
to five. And so I'm giving it all I got with every extra second I've got, and I think they're going to be so thrilled with the results. Um,
Oh, wow. That's
yeah,
really cool. That's really cool idea. So it's private, right? This isn't like official, right?
I'm sure at some point you'll hear about it. I
Oh.
just don't want to say too much, at this time. But oh, yeah, it's for it's for Richard Simmons.
Oh,
Yeah,
Richard.
yeah. But it's going to be for for Omega comic art.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
I don't know what will ultimately become of them, but they're
Yes.
I'm having a great time doing them right now.
Oh,
Um, so if you do
yeah.
want original sketch card, like finished paintings from me, probably a great way to get them when they do come out.
Oh, I
Um,
love that.
yeah, and it's a lot of fun. But boy, I tell you what, these little cards, man, they are hard to do real detail work on. Especially at my age, I can't see anything, so I got my glasses on, and I've got my face right up against it. And I'm like, oh, I think if I put this mark here, the tooth will be right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, Casey, they're fully oil painted
Wow,
cards,
what a
and
treat. Wow.
yeah. So once I get them done, I'm sure you'll get it. They'll go out into the wild. You'll
Oh,
probably see it.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, I'm pumped too, Ben. Ben's were cool. Ben did a few
Oh,
yeah.
incredible!
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved them, man. They were so awesome, and
Yeah.
the quality these guys are doing, the mega comic art it's top notch. I mean, I got the sketch cards, and I was like, wow, these like this is really nice quality material.
2.5
Um,
by 3.5 mini masterpieces. That's what I
yeah,
refer
and
to.
I was asked by both Upperdeck and Tops to do sketch cards
Mhm.
repeatedly, but I always turn them down because I'm like, I don't feel like I'm going to be able to do my
Mm.
best work on with probably the turnaround expected on them. Um, and so this particular set though, like I'm like, there's not a huge push to get it done now. So I can just take my time and do these little tiny paintings. So
Love it. I love it. And thank you guys for allowing us all to get that little tease, that little share. That's awesome. Appreciate it. That's something we're going to be looking forward to, as well as what may be coming with Tops down the road. So, Ty, is there anything that you want to bring to the table, or talk about if we haven't touched on?
ah, no, no, man, I could talk about art all night. So
Oh, hell yeah. Well,
you tell me when
there's
to
always
stop.
there's always room for a second, brother. Come back on if you enjoyed this. I'd love to have you back on sometime. Maybe after we see the Omega or the Top stuff. I'd love to have you
Yeah,
on and chat about
yeah.
that.
This was a lot of fun. Thanks for putting this together, and thanks for having me on. It was great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I went
Um,
back and once I knew we were going to do this, I went back and watched a bunch of your past episodes, and man, they're just awesome. Like
Thanks,
I
bro.
watched Ben's and I watched Miles, and I was like, man, these are fantastic. Like um,
Ah,
I could listen to them in the background, and I get to hear other artists talk about like their life. It just makes all this more real in the
yeah.
coolest way.
I love to hear that, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. That makes it all that worthwhile, you know. But this has been an awesome conversation. I love the honesty, the grit, and the passion you bring, not just to your art, but the way you approach the whole journey. For anyone listening, if you're not already following his work, go check him out on his Instagram at Ty Romsa. Trust me, you'll know exactly what we've been talking about all night. And if you've been listening, thank you for spending a little time with us tonight, because at the end of the day, this hobby isn't just about collecting. It's about connection, storytelling, and it's about the people behind the art. So as always, my friends, keep collecting, keep creating, and as always, ramble on. Bye, guys.